Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm Mindy and this is See Mindy Mom. Today I am kicking off a new series. These are family-friendly, WW-friendly recipes, so stay tuned. Okay you guys, I'm getting ready to head out the door to run the mom shuttle to activities, but when I come back, I'm going to be making dinner and I'm going to be sharing with you a recipe. I have decided that I really want to try to kick off a new series on this channel. I want to share with you some recipes that my kids like, that my husband likes, that are tried and true recipes that my family keeps coming back to, but that also work for me on the WW program. So I am currently working the WW Purple program, but a lot of these recipes are things that I have compiled over the years working various programs. So I'll do my best to give you the points values on all of the programs, the green, the purple, and the blue, and also maybe give you some suggestions for how you can tweak it. As a mom with 3 young children, ages 10, 7, and 6, and with a husband to feed, I do not really want to have to make multiple dinners each night. I don't want to make a special dinner for myself and then something else for my family. I also don't want to cook stuff that my family won't eat, right? I need to have something that is palatable to them as well, but still fits within my Smart Points budget. So I thought I would start a little series where I share with you some recipes that have worked for us, for our family, that are easy for me to fit within my Weight Watchers program, my WW Purple program, but that also are things that my family enjoys. So tonight I'm going to share with you one that some of you may have seen before if you've been with me for a really long time. I haven't made it in a few months, but it's one that pops up quite frequently on my meal plan. It is called One Pan Cheesy Smoked Sausage and Pasta, and it is from the website Budget Savvy Diva. I will leave it linked in the description box below. I try to be careful about making substitutions. I mean, we always have to, tweak recipes to our own taste or preferences, and as Weight Watchers, sometimes we want to sub out ingredients or leave things out in order to manipulate the Smart Points value, but I try to be very careful about that because sometimes if we sub too many ingredients or we leave too much stuff out, it ends up not tasting very good or not anything like the original recipe. So the only things that I am changing about this recipe are that for the half a cup of milk that it calls for, I'm using a plain unsweet almond milk because that's what I have on hand. I'm using whole wheat pasta instead of plain pasta, and I'm going to do something that I do with a lot of recipes and that really helps me keep the points value of my serving down while still feeding my family food that they like, and that is to serve the cheese on the side. This recipe calls for 2 cups of cheese, and if I were to put that into the recipe, it would raise the Smart Points value like 5 or 6 points per serving, as opposed to just serving the cheese on the side and letting everybody put however much they want into their own serving. By doing this, I can use a little less cheese or maybe a different kind of cheese with my own serving, and I'm able to keep that Smart Point serving down while still serving it to my family in a way that they like and enjoy and will eat. So before I add the cheese in at the end, this recipe comes out to just 3 Smart Points on the purple plan per serving when it serves 6. And on the blue or the green plans, I believe it would come out to about 7 Smart Points per serving because you have to count the pasta as part of the points, and that is before you add the cheese. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to show you guys how I make this, and again, be sure to check the description box below for the original recipe. All right, you guys, I'm going to start out by showing you all of the ingredients, just some pretty basic stuff and a lot of things that I would normally have on hand. Some turkey smoked sausage. They do carry this at Aldi, which is what I have right here, but I think Butterball and Eckrich also make a turkey smoked sausage. You might just scan it for the points and make sure that it's not higher than the Aldi. A tablespoon of olive oil, 8 ounces of dry pasta, and this is an organic whole wheat fusilli that I get at Trader Joe's. It is Purple Plan compliant for the 0-point list on the Purple Plan. It calls for some diced onion. I'm going to chop up just about half of this onion that you see, and some minced garlic as well. I always buy it already minced in the jar. Just make sure you get it in water and not oil. Some diced tomatoes. It calls for 14 ounces. That's a 28-ounce can, so I'll just use half of it. 2 cups of chicken broth, half a cup of milk, some salt and pepper and red pepper flake, and then my cheese for adding later. So I'm going to heat my oil up in the pan, and then I just add my diced onion and I let that saute for a couple of minutes before I add my smoked turkey sausage and garlic. And I'll add those to the pan with the onion and just let them saute for a couple more minutes before I add the seasonings. And I'm just going to season this with a little bit of salt and pepper and some red pepper flake. Now my kids actually like a little bit of a kick. They like spicy things, okay, so I'm just going to put a pinch of the red pepper flake in for them, but if your family is sensitive to that, of course, you can leave this out. And the smoked sausage actually adds quite a bit of flavor because it's seasoned pretty well by itself. Then I'm going to add the liquid ingredients, the milk and the broth, and the tomatoes. I will throw in my pasta, and I use a scale to measure out 8 ounces, and then I will bring that to a boil, and then I'll pop the lid on it, reduce the heat to a simmer, and let it simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how long it takes the pasta to cook. Now, if your kids like veggies, you could stretch this a little bit by maybe adding half a cup of frozen veggies to it, like some peas and carrots. If they like beans, you could add some pintos to it, or maybe some black beans. I just made it in its very basic form so that you can see what it looks like. I did add some black beans to my own little serving that I put on, but this is what the recipe is, just in its original format. And there you can see it all plated up. I just roasted myself some veggies and I let everybody put their own cheese on it, and that's what we had for dinner. There you go, one pan cheesy smoked sausage and pasta, a tried and true recipe for us. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to give this a thumbs up and leave me a comment in the description box. And I will be sure to check in with you guys again very soon. Bye.